my question was, why did she, when in this scene right here, when she turned away at the, I don't know what you call that, fighter.
Yeah, it's like a new TIE fighter.
Yeah. She turned away from it, ran away from it, and then do a backflip to try to destroy it. I would have just ran head on to it.
What's funny to me is I think, like, I look at this scene or whatever, and I'm just like, see, what they don't show you is that she actually, like, bounced the heck out. She turned around, did that flip, and everything was just like, boom. Star Wars, they always put out their best promo material. Their promo material is steadily being badass. I mean, I can never ever deny Star Wars of that. Like their trailers always look good despite the quality of the movies. Like I can look at some of I look at the Disney era, I look at the prequel era, and I'm like looking at those. I'm like, these trailers are badass, dude. Like these are movies I want to see, you know. And I'm just like, where are they? It's like I wish I could see the movie that this trailer was promoting or whatever. But their posters are always cool. There was a mural that somebody painted in, I think, in Chicago, whatever, at the actual celebration. I got some hair somewhere that I'm trying to get rid of. But there was a mural that I posted it on Facebook or whatever. Follow us on Facebook, you see that kind of stuff or whatever. But yeah, I saw it and I was like, damn. Because it was all the Star Wars movies and all the people from the Star Wars movies. I was like, damn, this looks so cool. Because it was like all the way from beginning to end. They put it in chronological order. And I was like, that's cool. That's badass. And I was like, that looks really good. So I can never, ever knock Star Wars for putting out bad trailers or anything like that. Because it's like, I still look at the trailer for The Last Jedi and I'm like, damn. Wish I could see that movie.
Like, I enjoyed Force Awakens. Mm-hmm. Now, when The Last Jedi came out, like, I tried so many times. Like, so many times. Like, we went to go see it the day it came out. And, yeah, I fell asleep halfway through. Mm-hmm.
I believe that.
Tried to go see it again in theaters. Well rested and everything, because I was like, you know what, I just got off work. Maybe, I was just tired.
That's true.
Went to go try to see it in theaters again. Fell asleep again. And I was just like, well, that just tells me that, this is not the direction they need to go in. And even tried at home on Netflix. Same thing happened. So I couldn't even tell you how The Last Jedi ended. That's how far I got.
Hey, I've seen it multiple times. I still can't tell you how it ended. I can tell you how it should have ended.
Yeah. But for this one, I feel like, they look back at The Last Jedi. And like you said, going off of what you said, yeah, they put out some really good trailers. Mm-hmm. And when you get there, you're like, why'd you lie to me? you stole my money, and I'm upset.
Go back to the box office. Like, I think I paid for the wrong movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just like what's the 1-800 number to their corporate? Right. I need to complain. Like the only way for Star Wars to redeem themselves is, like you said, they're bringing out season 7 of Clone Wars. Mm-hmm. They realized, we did cut it too short. It was something great we had going. Mm-hmm. And you have the Mandalorian, I guess movie or show, TV show coming out. And if anybody has ever read the Mandalorian, anything about the Mandalorians, they're a really badass, race. Oh yeah, that's just like they're like alien Spartans. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I really hope they do this show justice and showing what the Mandalorians were all about. Like they were all about, the brotherhood. Like we're a force that you don't want to mess with. Mm-hmm. And I just hope they do not downplay it. And then, of course, you have talks of a Knights of the Old Republic show. Mm-hmm. Coming out, and I just read today.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
So that you'll get to see what happens way, way, way in a galaxy far, far away. Yeah. And like I said, the door's open for them to redeem themselves, and it's just if it's up to them to take it.
Right, and you hit the nail on the head there. I am on record as saying that the biggest problem with what Disney is doing with Star Wars is like, okay, we're taking this and like we want to, because regardless of the quality of the prequels, you can tell like it's in, like I said, narratively and just overall feels like, all right, yeah, okay, we have a little bit of a polished look here, CGI is not good and stuff like that, but hey, look, we want to be part of this series. We want to be part of what you love and everything. It's like, yeah, we didn't do it right, but fine. We still want to be part of that. With Disney, y'all didn't want to be part of that. Y'all wanted to be it. And I'm just like, that's your problem. That's your, you have this selfish air about you that's just kind of just like, no, we it's about us right now. And I'm just like, no, that's not how you should be taking it. That's not the direction you should go. Now, granted, I don't hate any of these movies. I don't even hate The Last Jedi. I'm just kind of like, I know it's a terrible film, but I'm like, I don't even hate it. But at the same time, I look at it, I just can't help but just like, I can't help but have a serious dislike for what they have done with the franchise. However, piggybacking off what you were just talking about, Mandalorian, with them taking a break, they're going to say, they're like, Episode 9 is going to be the last movie they come out with for a while. A lot of people, like I said, were burned by The Last Jedi. A lot of people agree with you in saying, like, hey, Force Awakens, I like Force Awakens, I know I'm in kind of the minority. I thought I was in the minority for a while until it was funny. People didn't go back and start questioning The Force Awakens until The Last Jedi came out. When they went back and they watched it, I was like, well, let me watch The Force Awakens. I'm like, well, damn, The Force Awakens wasn't even that good. I'm like, I've been trying to say it. But at the same time, like, people can still watch that and still, like, get some enjoyment out of it. I don't hate The Force Awakens. It's definitely better than Last Jedi.
Yes.
But, I saw it early on, what they were doing, and I'm just like, I don't like this direction y'all are going. When they came out with Rogue One, I was like, okay, all right, I like this.
Yeah, because Rogue One was a bridge, like, yes. it gapped, from one, series to the next.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I feel like they recognize that, and they're on damage control right now. They realize, like, okay, we messed up. We screwed up here. We have literally screwed up the future, like the storyline, future-wise and stuff like that. So I'm just like, Episode 9 can only do so much. We know that and everything. This is why we're just going to, like, look, we're not going to make any movies for a while. And they're actually focusing more on stuff that goes on, in between certain eras of Star Wars and stuff like that. And The Mandalorian is actually featured in Rebels quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so I was more interested in that. That's something that's, like I said, you got a gap that you can bridge. You got 32 years of content that you can make and stuff like that. But what I do appreciate is, like you said, with season 7 of Clone Wars, because once Disney got a hold of Star Wars and Lucasfilm, they were just like, nope, Clone Wars is done. So they immediately killed that. And then a lot of people were unhappy with that. I was kind of like, I wasn't happy about it, but at the same time, like, when I saw it, I was like, well, I can accept this as the last season. It wasn't like it ended off at a cliffhanger or anything. I was like, I can kind of accept.
I mean, of course, it still left you with questions, but
yes.
But it also, like, with the whole Yoda, like, going off and going to the Sith temple
mm-hmm.
and all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. Of course, it was a good finale at the time,
right?
But it still left you those couple of questions of, like,
right.
What was Yoda's intent? Like, what was the purpose of this?
Exactly.
And hopefully season 7 will, hope and pray that season 7 will answer some of those questions.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I mean, the same people are doing it, so.
And another thing, not trying to cut you off, but another thing too is, like, kind of bridge the gap between what Ahsoka has been doing since she left, to the point of, what was it, Rebels?
Yes. Yeah.
Because when she pops back up again, she's almost like an adult.
Yeah.
And the last time we saw Ahsoka in Clone Wars, she was still like a kid, like maybe teenager. Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's like I said, it's another thing you could do. Like, you got I don't know how many episodes it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be like 13 episodes or if it's going to be a full, like, you know, their usual 22 or whatever. But you've got a lot that you can do there. You've got a lot that you can account for and still give people, you know, the stuff that they want. And like I said, that's part of where I feel like they're on some serious damage control here, because when they took over, they killed it. You know, they were just like, oh, we're not doing that no more. You know, they took all the I remember this. I can't remember if you texted me or like we were just talking about it one day, but you were pissed because they said like, oh yeah, all this these EU books and everything. Nah, it was no canon. Not canon no more.
Yeah, because there's so much they can do with it, and Disney's just fool themselves of like.
A little bit. Sorry.
Won't even pay attention. That Disney's just so full of themselves. It's just like they're destroying everything that they can make money off of, that people and the fans of Star Wars would enjoy.
Yes.
Like, granted, you know, there's nothing like opening up a book and making the movie in your head yourself.
Right.
But actually having a company that has the money and can take this and take what you've read and put it on the big screen, and it's just like, whoa. And Disney's like, nah. No. I'm going to do what I want to do. Mm-hmm. And you've left so many fans displeased. Mm-hmm. Like, I've known fans that are like, I remember when I saw the very first Star Wars in theaters, and I'm a diehard fan. And then, you know, after Last Jedi, it's just like, yeah, ruined my childhood.
Yeah.
Like, seeing like a grown, you know, 56-year-old man's just like, yeah, my childhood's dead.
Yeah, yeah. I've known quite a few people. But it was the same way. He's kind of like, man, I love these movies, and then, you know, like, yeah, he's like, yeah, I don't like the prequels all that much, but I can still. He's like, I can still, like, hey, look, they are what they are, or whatever. But you know.
Yeah, it's like with the prequels, at least they still kind of fit together.
Yes. Yeah.
Like 6, 7, and 8 so far, it's like, okay, we kind of see the bridge, but it's not a bridge that I can trust.
Yeah.
With, you know, to cross.
It's pretty rickety. Yeah. It's pretty rickety.
You sure there isn't another way around?
Right. At least at this stage, you know, regardless of what quality episode 9 is, at least at this stage, I respect what they're doing. You know, like I said, I respect the fact that they're taking a break, they're stepping back. I respect the fact that it feels like they're listening to their fan base, you know, and it's not so much like it also listening to your fan base, but like I was saying with Warner Brothers, they finally picked up that mirror and held up, and it was like, well, shit, yeah, I've been messing up, you know, you know, so and I would hope, I'm hoping that's the case here, but that's kind of what it seems like, you know, especially like I said with the you know, at least in episode keep saying episode 7, season 7 of Clone Wars or whatever, bringing that back, bringing in the Mandalorian, bringing in some stuff that from the EU, because we got characters that were actually from the extended universe that they're talking about bringing into a lot of the series and everything. And I don't have a picture of it anymore, but yeah, it's like bringing in some people from the extended universe, because they who's the guy in Clone Wars, not Clone Wars, Rebels, that they brought. He was the blue guy. I can't remember what his name is now.
Yeah, because he was like the general or the captain or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was originally in the EU. I remember that, but
yeah, because him and Darth Vader were kind of like rivals.
Yeah. And I remember seeing that. It was just like, oh man, okay. He was trying to bring some stuff into that people are going to resonate with, fans are going to resonate with, and stuff like that. Like, I haven't read any, like, the only thing I've read is Catalyst, but but I respected that, and I liked that fact that they were bringing stuff in from the EU, just kind of like, all right, look, we're trying a little bit. Seems like they're finally trying to listen to their fan base and stuff like that. So I'm appreciative of that. So like I said, I know they're on damage control now and everything. So at least I think they're trying to keep the fans that they still have. You know, they have a diehard fan base. You know, like you know, our friend JJ And if Scott Storro's on it, screw it. You know, he goes there with the intent, and I respect that about him to the nth degree or whatever. But he goes to each of these movies and stuff like that with the intent of liking them, no matter what he might get or whatever. But he's just like, hey man, I'm gonna like this movie and I respect that, man. I respect that. You know, I used to be that way until I got burned too many times. X-Men screwed that for me, so I'm just kind of like, I'm going in expecting nothing. You know, so, which, you know, I think that helps me be a little bit more open to what the movie has to offer, in a sense, or whatever. So, and I don't go in as, I don't go in with my hopes so high, so when it's not, I don't get what I want, I'm not as crushed by it, or whatever. So, as I said, X-Men hurt me one time. That was the last time I said I'm going in. And I was like, whatever you got to offer, and if it's good, if it's bad, I'm not going to be as soul crushed anymore. So that's kind of like with episode 9. With episode 9 now, I'm just like, I'm not in the least excited about it. I'm not even really truly excited about the video game. It looks good, you know, from the trailers and everything like that. It looks like it's going to be good. This is obviously, PS4, obviously PS4 and Xbox, right?
Yeah, I hope so. So because I know there's talks of PS5 on the way.
Yes.
And the Xbox 2, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's funny how they went backwards in numbers.
Right.
Xbox and the Xbox 360. They're just like, oh, Xbox One. I'm like, wait.
Maybe they switched it to radian measurements now instead of degrees.
That's where all the math goes out there.